Good afternoon, everybody. This is Big Mama. I had promised you that I would finish my VIP project for the Dear Julie June challenge, and what I have made is a journal using a brochure catalog that I was going to throw in the trash. And of course, with junk journalers, we don't throw anything in the trash. As you can see by that basket right there, that's full of my junk mail envelopes, and up here's my cereal boxes. Things get used around here that would normally go into the landfill. So what I have done is I took some of the cereal boxes and one of the brochures from this one and put it together with one of Julie's digitals. The digital that I used is the I'm going to try it again, Peach Rose Marie Mayhem kit that she has in her Etsy shop. And I have made a journal out of that. So I want to introduce you to the Rosemary part of the Peachy Mayhem. And so here she is. I have taken, for those who have watched all of my other videos, take, took, take it. Those words get really twisted up in my mouth. So anyway, Julie's part of her digital, she had some photographs of Victorian women, and this is Marie. And so I printed her. I don't know if you can tell here that she has been printed on a sticky back canvas paper. And so I printed her on that and then put some lace around her on the inside, and then on the outside some old Victorian lace. Added some lace here, doilies. One of the online sales that I went to, one of the ladies had made this here. I disassembled it a little bit to work with the color scheme that I had here. I also had taken this, was around the bottom of a pillowcase, and so I placed it around the edge, and so the back and the front here. And then on the spine I put this metal filigree. I think it's supposed to protect it so that in the years to come you won't rip it apart while you're using it. And then added, I have some antique buttons. I'm going to see if I can change the lighting just a little bit so you can see these buttons a little bit better. And so I included those vintage buttons in here. And then I ran, this is some of the seam binding that I get from Penny Pudge when she does her online sales. She dyes these, and this was one that she had done with avocado, and it ended up being a little bit more on the peachy side with the tea, which I thought went really well with the Peachy Rose Marie. So that's why I used that. The way I did this time is by taking the ribbon, and this is cereal boxes, so I glued 2 cereal boxes together to create my book board. But then on the inside I had this beautiful paper that it looked Victorian Edwardian period for me, and so I put this around some of the cardstock, also not cardstock, cereal box also, so that the cereal box, you've got 3 layers creating that thickness. And so when I put this side on, I had ran the ribbon across both the back and the front so that it is extremely secure on here. And this is a 1 signature, and what the signature really is that Compassion International catalog that I had. And so I have removed the staples from the spine of the catalog and then embellished each one of the folios and then sewed it together then here, so it is just 1 signature, but this section here is actually the catalog. And here in the inside, I did a double pocket and had some from the scrapbooking days. I had these little stickers that you put on your scrapbook pages, and so I embellished throughout the book using those. And then this is Marie. She's an actress, and so this, I have an old magazine that has for the, actually this is from the magazine itself, so it is the Dramatic Mirror. And so using this magazine, I was able to take advertisement out. I did this on the inside using the tracing paper so that you can write in it. And I'll probably pronounce this magazine wrong. If you'll give me 1 second, I'm not standing up, you know I won't, but I'm going to just, it's just right here. I guess I did stand up. Well, you got me on that one. So I have this etude and then the Dramatic Mirror. And in those magazines, I was able to get the advertisement and the music pages. And out of this other magazine called Keyboard Classics, it had pages that had music, but it had on the edge the different period, but I liked that it looked like a file folder, so I used this on the edges of some of mine. I didn't do anything modern period, sorry, because I tried to stay within Marie's time. So Marie has a Mr. Price who gave her voice culture. And there is a little letter here that I have the gold thread on, and it is just a piece of paper that when you unfold it, it just keeps unfolding. Well, I can always put this back together. So I will show you what I mean. Others have probably seen my videos and know I love to do this with my scraps of paper. And so you've got places to write those little quotes and things that are important in your life. And then again, this is just taking this out of the front of the Dramatic Mirror and being able to write in the inside of that and put some beautiful paper doiling. Okay, let's get on into this book. Enough of the details about the outside. So here is Marie. And so I took 2 of these pictures and took the flowers off of the second picture so that I could put them on cardboard or cardstock and then fussy cut them out and glued them onto the top and use the glossy accent on them. And so this is the introduction to her life, as I thought of her more as an opera singer, but doing musicals. And when I use the brochure, this is the actual brochure right here, and after I glued her onto the middle of the page, I took sandpaper then and roughed that up around it. So this is the actual front of the brochure, which was a glossy page, and so that's part of it. So there is some of your compassion for Marie. Then this is the next page, and I did these corner tucks. Some people call them a corner belly bands, and put the doily on it using some of Julie's paper, digital. And then this, I had put the lace butterfly here with this butterfly, and then when it slides in, it will be on the outside of this butterfly. And then in the digital, there are, these are calling cards in different sizes, and so here's one that I use for a journaling card. And then this one I made into a paper clip. So there, and I did this on purpose so you could see the two sizes that she has here. And then I also, on the bottom here for my pocket, I just used a scrap of paper so that you can open that up and write in it. And then the paper clip will keep that closed. And then again, I used those little gold stickers that are in the scrapbooking area. I have some, this was 1898 ledger that I thought was perfect to use in here, and this is the actual ledger, not a copy. So then on this side, so that you can still see the ledger and the handwriting, I took the tracing paper and just cut it here, and then in the bottom I used some more of the ledger and made these little photo corners to where this can stick in, and you can lift that up and see things here. Well, I'll slide that back in later. And then this is another one of the pictures that comes in the digital, and this is Marie in a different setting, a different opera. Maybe she was doing Oliver, who knows? She likes Dickens, I'm sure. And so I just fixed that to where it was a journaling card. And then I also made this where it flips down and you have then some paper that you can journal on. And I will stick that one back in there and put a little bit of lace. And so that's, you also have then the pocket behind that you can use. And then this is some more to the digital. I use the green painter's paper that you used when you're painting around a window, you want to tape it off. This is that painter paper. And then here I did a fabric flip, and she has papers that are called side-by-sides, so that you can have one page and then another, and this is the spine. I have taken that and cut it in half so that I can use it for journaling spot here, and it flips up. I put in a piece of paper, and then the other side is here. So you have all of that journaling space. And then I use this piano roll to cover up the brochure, but I wanted to do this one also on purpose. I could have covered this up, but I wanted you to see that this is a catalog that I have used as my substrate. And so there's an antique, this was hard for me to cut. It was just so beautiful, but I thought, well, that's what I bought them for. I might as well use them. And here's some more journaling space. And this page right here, Julie has that as a large page, and so I was able, with my printer, I was messing around, and I was able to print it really, really light. And so I ran this page through it and printed that really light on it so that I was able to keep the digital throughout, but you can also write on it. It's not too dark. So there's that. And then I have I'll have to find where that one came off of. I have this where I did the avocado and dyed some paper, and then the music paper that came out of the etude, I had some scraps of it. This is a napkin that I had, and then here is some more of the page, and this was what I was talking about, the edge. So it said the Romantic era, and I thought, yes, Romantic era is just perfect. And so then this is another, this was a decoupage paper that I had that I put down here. And then on this side, I made this, flips down out of, this is one of her miniatures that she has. And so I did a miniature letter, and all I did was take I cut it out, put it on some cardstock, and then I did several pieces. I don't know if you can see here on this side, I did several pieces that were shallow. And when I mean shallow, they're only about 1/4 of an inch wide, that I put just here on the top. And I wrapped the thread around, tied my bow, put it at the end of her hand to where it looks like she's holding the letter. And so then this flip down has where the paper, you can write on it, and then when it flips back up, it will slide up under there. And then I just had one of these paper clips, and I took scraps of my material and then sewed the button to hold the scrap in place around that. And some more paper here that I have. Then during the chat, Julie does a premiere every day, and during the premiere, one of the ladies in the chat, her name is Sheila, when she saw this page, she said, "Oh, Julie, you should cut that and make it a pocket." And I thought, well, I'm running with that. I don't know if Julie will, but I did. And so I took glossy accent and put on here, and I've got a few bubbles in my glossy accent, but I still liked it a lot. I cut it, put some paper behind it to make a pocket, and I cut it here along the edge, but I also have taken hole punch and punched out here on the shoe. And then here is another one of her on the digital. She has where there's 3 on a page, and they're long enough to do a tag, and so here was one of the ladies, and that is again Marie. And so here's an area that you can journal, and then on the back side here you can journal on the time card. And then when I zigzag stitched, I used the green here on this side, but then here I used the metallic gold and then went with the black around it to match the black for the shoe, to bring those all together. And then I put that page is backed onto some more of the ledger, and at the bottom of the page of the ledger I've got these tabs. And then on this page I simply made using the scraps, so here it can flip up, and then I had a piece that was a narrow folded piece, so I just put it in the middle, and then on the back part of it have this where it is flat, and then I put that down so that it could be a pocket. And within that pocket then I have taken one of the postcards that she had, tabbed it with a postcard so that again you could see the 2 different sizes that you have in the digitals, and so you've got a place that you can journal on. Put that over there. And this is, now we're getting to the middle of the signature, and this was an envelope if I wanted to make a donation. If I'm going to make a donation, I'm going to do it on probably online, but we have a young man that we are donating towards, and so we do everything online, so I can use this as a supply instead. So here we go. I've got this pot, and it actually was in the middle, so I left it right where it was supposed to be, and have covered it up with her digitals. And then here is Marie, and did the card here, put a little butterfly for interest on the back side of it. And then this was a form that you could fill out, and so I covered it. And then added a lot of pages here and so I just, as you can see, used the washi tape and put some pieces of paper together so that you could write on both sides of it. And so that was the other side of that brochure. And then this is where I sewed in the signature, and so I used just the scraps of the digital, and then have pocket here with where you can write another legacy letter and use some old vintage stationery that I have. That was hard giving up. And then the back side here that you can, this for whoever, I like to leave some space for you to come up with your own creativity. So this is part of the digital. Here is again, I want to show you this. I used the tea bag over the top of, so you could see the texture of what the tea bag will do. And so this isn't just the digital on copy paper. This is the tea bag. And then put my little butterfly rub on there for some interest. And then these gentlemen are looking. Marie is over here on the other side of that paper, and they're checking her out. She must be getting ready to sing in that parlor. And here's another one of the pages. And the Baroque era. I don't know, maybe that is 2023, and we should be saying the Baroque era, but back then they were just Baroque. So, but they got some romance going on too. Poor people got romance too. That's all I gotta say. Here's another journaling page, and I tore some lace and music Angeles. I like these because they had the date of the composer, kind of went along with the era. And here I just took my scraps of the music paper after I'd got what I wanted for the rest of the pages. I didn't want to throw it away. And so as you can see, when I cut this ledger paper that I had, Julie's digital was big enough to do both sides of that page, and it did it beautifully. Here is another journaling page, and then on this one, I really liked in this advertisement that I had in the magazine, some of her pictures that she has are smaller. So as you can see here, the different size. So I liked having the little itty bitty wallet size pictures also, but the advertisement I didn't want to cut up to make pockets, and so what I did was you take and punch little tiny holes, and then you cut the slices out, 2 slices to take that sliver out. And then on the back side of this black paper, well, not black paper, but on the back side of this advertisement, I made pockets under each one of these. So there's a pocket under each one, and then glued that to the black paper. And then it has a pocket here. And I should have something in that pocket, but I was so excited about getting this done, I forgot to make something to put in that pocket. Doggone it. I hope you'll forgive me. So I made sure that these pockets were the right size for my little gals to go back in. There you go. more of this. Another part of our digital. And then here, there was the back side of music paper, and I didn't want to cut it off, and so I just put that in the signature and then added these scraps of paper to have like a flip-flop to add more journaling space here, and made a different type of tab there. And this ledger paper had more room to write. This one I did a vellum area here, and then put the, I think I'm going to have to glue those down on the vellum. This is not good to go yet. I'll get that glued down with some of the art glitter glue. And so this is one of Julie's digitals. And then the back here, I have taken this lace and sewed it to a piece of the plastic to create this top tuck, and then made this journaling card using some old lace here at the top. And the back of it is Love Story, or the love song, and it was written by Brahms. So put that in there. And then the back pocket here, I had some vintage lace, and have a place for you to do your legacy letter. There's some paper inside here for you to write something special in there to a loved one. Use some rub-on stickers. And then, as always, I sign my journals here on the back. So even though it is one signature, there is a whole lot that you can do inside this one. And I was just pretty happy with the size that it ended up with. And can you believe that I did not make a gator? I don't know how it's possible with one signature not to make a gator. It was an accident. So thank you for watching. I hope that you like this. And Julie, if you do watch this, I want you to know I am just totally blown away by this digital. Thank you all. Bye-bye.